Hello everyone. I'm so excited and delighted to be here with each one of you. And it has been a great privilege for me to stand before you to talk about the thing I really love the most. What if I tell you right now that petroleum and other natural resources we have been digging years after years, decade after decade, will become no longer an agent that drives economy. Most of the developed countries like America, China, Russia, and other Asian tigers, they have no availability of natural resources like we do have here, but they operate over all the things we use every day, especially modern technology and devices and all other things that require the internet access to operate. It is because they build them, they have the source code. Nigeria can produce hundreds, millions of barrels of petroleum per year, which brings in trillions of naira added to the economy. But believe me, one American decathlon founder can generate billions of dollars per profit, which is equivalent to the output of petroleum we Nigerians are proud of. Lifting economy is no longer the presence of natural resources in a country. It is the highest degree of technology embracement by the youth of that country. An 18-year-old boy in America, for instance, can build $1 billion idea. Most of the developed countries, they have one thing behind their development. They don't count on the number of natural resources presented in their country. They count on the number of innovators, problem solvers, founders, VCs they have in the country. And believe me, those founders can build a solution with global usage. And the absence of that solution and the absence of one solution they have built may concern the whole world into some very bad circumstance. So this transformation has come to Lagos too. An 18-year-old boy, maybe at his university middle, can build a product for a client in China or a client in Berlin without leaving his home state. All they requires was internet access, solid foundation in one digital skills, stable electricity. For example, right here, when someone told us to stay ready and dig out petroleum right here in this hole, it may sound impossible to most of us, including me. Thus signaling that the natural resources requires location bound. But believe me, learning technology can be by everyone and it is for everyone. For example, right here in this hall, there is engineers, including I, and when we start down together and identify a problem, we can build the solution. And that solution was an innovation that simplifies life and can build huge amount of money into our pocket. So learning technology is now the best thing to uplift the economy of your country. That thing happening in America, in China, Russia, which is now a legacy, I wanted it to be here. Someone may ask, how can we drag such magnificent transformation into local community like Darazo? So it was simple, very simple. I'm going to analyze it in this my speech. When I was given a question, if I were asked, what's that aspect which gives freedom to young people? My answer will always be common. It is technology. Learning one bit of technology can turn you into IT giants and may make you self-reliant. Imagine an 18-year-old boy with strong foundation in software development to an extent that he can't land a client from China. Within 1 month, that project he was given by that client can be done, and which that project he had built can put a huge amount of money into his project. So one digital skills among various can be an alternative route. One natural resources presented in the country. This may shock every one of you here. One digital skills, when mastered clearly by a young man, can be his oil well. So as I have said it right now, how can we direct such magnificent transformation into local communities like Darazo? It is simple. When I was asked a question like that, I always go back to my story. I was born in northern Nigeria in a town named Ponchel, 20 kilometers outside this town. Back then, 5 years back, when I was in junior school, I'm always having passion about technology. I wanted to become a light software engineer everywhere. I wanted to become software engineer. So I got the idea one day that for me to be software engineer, my schools and the people I have been living in, the community I am living, will not support me because there is absence of engineers in that community I'm living. So I have a mobile phone. And believe me, that mobile phone I have at that time has no even ultra wide screen. I kept on researching how to design animations, presentations, and other end-user stuff. So for me to become an engineer, not digital user, I wanted to be creating new technologies. One day I am scrolling on social media, Facebook platform. I am met with an article shared by someone that for you to become an engineer, you must master programming. So I started researching about programming. My recent Google search were all about programming. My bookmark were full of questions about programming. So I get to know something about programming, but I never run it because the phone I have at that time, as I told you right now, has not even ultra-wide screen, let alone internet connection. It is very resistant in terms of internet connection. So as I was scrolling day by day, I have met with another post made by someone that right now there is so many modern editors which supported to be run on Android. So I was delighted to hear that, as I don't have a laptop. All I have is smartphone. I just go on to download that editor and start using it. I have been practicing what I learned from Google, all the information I've gathered related to programming. I kept on practicing it inside that editor. So the time I understand that I have gone very deep into software development. One of the best advantages of technology in the educational sector deciphered is I have met with a lot of mentors, and those mentors, most of them were not Nigerians. They mentored me through various means. When I do some personal project, I will submit it to them for the review. They will review it and tell me the corrections. To an extent that I can build a full stack web app. I should ship a lot of projects. This is after I have left my phone, that phone I'm using. I get phones by doing some project to some clients. I get money and I buy a smart laptop. I've been using it to collaborate on open source projects for my personal project, especially the ones in my startup, which is Softech Solutions. There, I understand that I was very good in software development, and the only transition I did was so small for me to transition from software development into IoT, which is Internet of Things. So using the same technologies I am using in software development, I have built out some technologies and become IoT expert. So for the questions like that, when someone throw it out, how can we direct such kind of transformation in local communities like Darazo, where electricity and internet connection were not stable? So there are so many takeaways inside my story. This is just the struggles I have told you when I was learning before. Right now, I was in tech business entrepreneurship, AI engineering and machine learning, which is the course I'm currently exploring right now. Technology is something which comes with multiple benefits and advantages. And believe me, behind those advantages, there is millions of purposes, millions of opportunities. So that happening in Lagos in America should be right here in Darazo local government. I wanted Darazo local government to be a tech dominant to an extent that an 18-year-old boy can build a product you will find in Silicon Valley. It is now the time, and the time is technology. The whole world is written under it. We should embrace it. Thank you.